I'm not here to complain. I just want to get it fixed. Please.
Just remember, it makes it look like I did something right.
I don't know the fuck they think they play with. I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. I don't play no motherfucking games. Let's go. Watch out, guys. Watch out.
What happens when boxing's legends from different eras meet? Not under the Vegas lights, but right in the middle of Dubai International Airport. The result was pure chaos. Terence "Bud" Crawford and Floyd "Money" Mayweather, both icons in their own time, came face to face in a totally unexpected spot. Instead of a handshake or respect, Crawford threw a punch. Yes, Bud actually hit Floyd Mayweather at Dubai Airport. The video has already shaken the boxing world. But this wasn't just a random fight. This moment connects directly to Floyd's rumored comeback, his upcoming fight with Mike Tyson, and the ongoing debate over who truly deserves the title of greatest of all time, Crawford or Mayweather.
In a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Let's break it all down. How the fight started, why Floyd Mayweather might have pushed it, how Canelo's name keeps coming up in the story, and why this could lead to one of the biggest fights in modern boxing history.
It's wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time.
Oh, yes.
That makes a difference to people.
Witnesses say the tension was immediate. Floyd Mayweather was walking through the VIP area of Dubai Airport with his usual entourage. Terence Crawford, who has been in the spotlight since his shocking win over Canelo Alvarez, just happened to be there as well. It started with words on the stairs. Floyd gave one of his signature smirks and reportedly called Crawford's win over Canelo overrated. Bud fired back without holding anything. Their entourages quickly surrounded them, and security rushed in, but the shouting kept going. Then it happened. Bud threw a punch and hit Floyd. Phones came out, fans were shouting, and soon clips of Crawford's punch were trending all over the world. The airport turned chaotic as both entourages clashed, arguments flared, and security had to step in to pull everyone apart before it got completely out of control. It was more than just a fight. It symbolized much more, because this wasn't simply two men running into each other. It was about legacy, pride, and who truly holds the crown of boxing greatness.
I was excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well, and the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, but I've seen Hagler, Hearns, I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all of those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years. But no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
Hold up, limitless,
So why did Bud throw the punch? Was it about respect, or the lack of it? For years, Floyd Mayweather has acted like no one after him deserves a comparison. Whenever fans asked if Crawford could beat him, Floyd just laughed. He called himself the greatest ever and seemed to dismiss Bud completely.
70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying.
Then Bud shocked everyone by doing what no one expected, defeating Canelo Alvarez. That fight wasn't just an upset, it changed the history books. Suddenly, the pound-for-pound debate shifted. It wasn't just about who's the best right now, it became, is Terence Crawford better than Floyd Mayweather ever was?
Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
And here's the twist. Canelo himself, who has faced both Floyd and Crawford, said Crawford is better. That hit Floyd hard, because for years his biggest pride was beating Canelo and calling him easy work. Now the same Canelo is praising Bud, and for Floyd, that was too much to ignore.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
So when the two finally met, it wasn't just about words. It was decades of pride and ego colliding head-on.
Seeing Crawford on his, have his best performance that he has ever had, versus Canelo. So it's like, whenever you try to compare Floyd's performance versus Crawford's performance, me personally, I believe that Crawford did a lot more. But if they both were to fight each other, if you would have put Floyd in his prime versus Crawford in his prime, who would y'all pick? For me personally, it would be so hard because I feel like they fight very similar but very different.
Here's where it gets even more interesting. Just days before the airport incident, Floyd Mayweather caused a stir in an interview by hinting at a professional comeback. No more exhibitions, no more easy paydays. He wants back in the pro ring. And the name he's been targeting? Terence Crawford. It makes sense. Crawford is the face of this generation, while Floyd was the face of the last. It's the greatest of yesterday versus the greatest of today. If Floyd wants to prove his legacy is untouchable, there's no bigger fight than this.
Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
And let's be honest, Floyd isn't naive. He knows this fight would be historic. For Bud, it's a high-risk move. If he beats Floyd, critics might just claim Floyd was too old. But if he loses, his legacy takes a serious hit because it would be remembered as Crawford failing to beat a 47-year-old Floyd Mayweather. For Floyd, it's mostly a win-win. If he loses, people shrug and say, he was past his prime. But if he somehow beats Bud, it becomes one of the most remarkable statements in boxing history.
Like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight. And that's what led him to be so great, you know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
But before Floyd can even think about facing Crawford, he has another huge challenge, Mike Tyson. That's right. Floyd's next scheduled fight is an exhibition against Iron Mike Tyson.
Fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, you know, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and you know, like, hey, this is not, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to fight Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to give the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an exciting event.
On paper, this fight is mostly entertainment. Tyson is well into his 50s, while Floyd is still active and sharp. By logic, Floyd should have the upper hand.
Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the fuck is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not gonna complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were gonna weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is gonna wanna watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but
one punch from Tyson could change everything. If Floyd gets caught and knocked out, even in an exhibition, forget the Crawford fight. Bud isn't going to face someone who just lost to a nearly 60-year-old Tyson. Fans won't demand it, promoters won't push it, and Floyd's legendary status would take a serious hit.
You're going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one, he came with the sign, his name was on the contract signed already. And he's talking really bad and nasty to me, and so I was like, God damn. I thought we were friendly, talking crazy. He said, all right.
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What are you talking about? That's talking crazy. Like, kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I thought the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Hey, he made a good money choice.
That's why the Tyson fight is far riskier than it seems. It's not just about Floyd getting hurt. It's about his entire comeback plan collapsing. And here's the twist. Crawford doesn't even need this fight. After beating Canelo, Bud's legacy is already secure. Fans and analysts are calling him one of the all-time greats. His record is complete. He stepped up in weight, faced the biggest names, and claimed victories that cemented his place in boxing history.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
He could retire today, hang up his gloves, and still be remembered as the man who shocked the world and overcame every challenge.
For the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to him. You gotta give it to his coaches. not just me, Saul, Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists. You know, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Fighting Floyd is more about money than legacy. Even if Crawford wins, critics will argue it wasn't prime Floyd. The prime versus prime debate will never end. That's why some insiders suggest Bud ignore Floyd's call-out entirely. He has nothing left to prove.
Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this 4-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion. 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds. Claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's.
But let's be honest. If this fight happens, it's risky for Crawford, not in terms of physical danger, but when it comes to his legacy.
I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who will win that?
Floyd.
Floyd will win that.
Yes, sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah,
he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody else?
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
gotta pioneer it, right? Yeah, you gotta.
There's an
yeah.
OG you can't out-figure out somewhere. And I just believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Beating Floyd Mayweather at nearly 50 won't quiet the critics. Losing, however, could be devastating. Bud would go from being the king of boxing to the man humbled by a retired legend. For Floyd, there's no real downside. His reputation is untouchable. For Bud, everything is at stake because all eyes are on him. That's why this airport punch was more than just a heated moment.